Okay, welcome back, guys, to Mr. Potter's DPM review lectures. We're going to Mexican National Era, Age of Impresarios. So, okay, yeah, so we're going to cover everything on the review, a little bit more. So, if you guys remember what an impresario is someone who's an entrepreneur, which means they're a risk taker in business who came to Texas. We'll talk about it more in just a second. So the Mexican government, they wanted people to come to Texas, okay, because no one lived there. And if you remember, people from the United States just got the Louisiana Purchase, and they're moving closer to Mexico. And Mexico's kind of like, uh-oh, if we don't do something, the United States is going to take Texas from us. And like everyone else in this world, they don't want to lose something that they already have. So they're going to make some colonization laws, okay? And the first colonization laws, really all you need to know is that they were there to help people settle there, okay? Colonization is people settling to a new place with the intent to live there, okay? So they want more people to live there. So we will go to, well, that was purpose and methods for settlement. They wanted people to settle there, so the United States wouldn't take it, and the way they're going to do that is impresarios. So impresarios, as I said earlier, was entrepreneur. They were risk takers. They were responsible for settling Texas. They would go to Spain, or at this point Mexico, and they'd be like, "Hey, I want to settle people in Texas," and Mexico would say, "Hey, I'm gonna give you 50,000 acres, and I will allow you to bring 200 families, okay? And it's your job to deal with the families and the land and all of that. We don't deal with it, you deal with it." And that's what they tried to do. So, remember, most settlers came from the southern United States. Remember, land was cheap, and they wanted people to settle there. And the people who were going to settle there are farmers, because since the land is cheap, farmers need land. So if they can go get cheap land, they're going to go get it. So they come from the southern United States to come settle in Texas. Now, remember colonization law of like 1825? I think this is what's going here. Is that there's a couple laws that they had to follow. They had to be loyal citizens of Spain and Mexico. They had to like swear, "I'm loyal to Mexico, not the United States." They had to convert to Catholicism, okay? So like if you were Protestant or another religion, like, hey, you can't do that. You have to be Catholic, okay? Like in Mexico, we're all Catholic, so you got to be Catholic. And they have to live on the land granted them, so they can't leave. So like once you live there, hey, you can't leave and then come back later. You have to stay there. So remember, guys, Moses Austin, this isn't on the review, so I'm kind of just going to talk through it with you guys. So Moses Austin, he was the first Anglo or white impresario to receive permission to colonize Texas. He comes to the United States, and he gets a contract to bring families. But the problem is he gets it, but on June 10th, 1821, you don't need to know this date, but he died. His last request that his son carried it out. So his son, Stephen F. Austin, they call him the father of Texas. He does a lot for Texas, as we'll continue to learn. Stephen F. Austin takes over his dad's colony. He chooses the land between the Colorado and Brazos River, very fertile. Remember, if we do the L with our finger, we're going to see that part of Texas is on the sweaty part of our palm. That's going to be the Gulf coastal plain, okay? So very fertile, very, very wet, very good for farming. They're going to make it very easy to make money there, okay? So he advertises in the southern United States. Cheap land, again, 12 cents an acre. In the United States, it was like $1.68 an acre, like incredibly more expensive. So this is extremely cheap land. Remember, this is a little review. Must become citizens, must be Catholic. And then something that Stephen Boston wanted was good moral character and hard workers. All you guys need to know is that they had to become citizens, they had to take oath to Spain, and they had to be Catholic. Okay. So we're going a little backwards, kind of. Okay. So we just talked about Stephen F. Austin, but before Moses, as Moses was getting his contract, and before Mexico was having the revolution, there was Mexican unrest. If you remember, there was extreme poverty there. Okay. Remember, there was a class system. So, hold on, I don't have my. So remember, you're gonna have triangle here, and you have different people. You're gonna have the people at the top. There's not gonna be many of them, but they're way above the people at the bottom. Most people live on the bottom, and they're treated like dirt. Okay, that's gonna be like the Native Americans are treated like dirt, and these are people directly from Spain are treated very well. Okay, so they hate this racism. People are tired of being treated like garbage, or being tired of treated like they were just nothing. They're second-class citizens. Their lives don't matter. And what's going to happen is you're going to have Hidalgo. Oh, hold on. I went too far. I'm trying to find my mouse. There it is. So we have Hidalgo. Remember, he does the cry of Dolores. He cries out to the people that they need to. It's time to be equal. Join the rebellion and become our own country. That we vote. There's we vote in Spain and in Mexico. So in Spain, way far in Europe, there's a civil war going on. So Spain doesn't have time to deal with Mexico. Mexico starts taking over the government. They have the plan of. Oh, hold on. I wish I could get rid of that. There we go. They have the plan of a gala, which is how they're going to plan to be independent. So remember, they would make almost everyone would be equal. The Catholic Church should keep its power, and slavery would be illegal. That was the plan of a gala. They're like, hey, we agree to this. Let's fight for this. In 1821, the Treaty of Cordoba. This one is on your thing. So Treaty of Cordoba is what makes Mexico independent from Spain. Okay, Spain is now gone after the Treaty of Cordoba. It is just Mexico. You don't have to worry about Spain. Like in the Revolution, there's no Spain. It's just Mexico. Okay, guys. So Mexico is now born. This is not in the slides here. Oh, it is in the slides here. So eventually we're going to have the Mexican Constitution of 1824, okay? So what's important here is we have states. This is going to talk in the revolution. Is this federal? Hold on. Let me just type that, actually. So we're going to remember federalism, okay? Remember, federalism is separation between state and church. Oh, okay. Federalism, okay? Federalism. So, states federalism, that's important later, okay? Slavery was illegal, created a republic. And it was modeled after the U.S. Constitution. This is limited, lovely government. That's why it's important, because in the revolution, they're going to slowly get rid of it, and the Texans are going to have a problem with that, okay? So Mexican Constitution of 1824 is limited government, okay? That's what's important about it. Let me see if I can find... yeah, that should be everything for this. So... let's go back quickly and look over this. Okay, so remember, we have impresarios. They were responsible for settling Texas. They were entrepreneurs, okay? Entrepreneurs responsible for settling Texas. Make sure you have that down. Geography and settlements. Stephen F. Austin was in the Gulf Coast region between the Colorado-Brazos River. Fertile soil, okay? A lot of these people lived where the soil was fertile, okay? So, and then we have Treaty of Cordoba. Let's see, where is that one? Treaty of Cordoba. Treaty of Cordoba. Spain is gone. Mexico is now born. So Treaty of Cordoba, Mexico is now its own country, okay? Mexican Constitution of 1824. Remember, federalism, limited government, okay? And colonization law of 1825, you have to be loyal to Mexico. You have to be Catholic. Okay, so they were forced to do all these things which they didn't want to do. Okay, that was pretty quick lecture. If you have any questions, we just went over this, so I hope you guys understand. If you don't, please ask Coach Jones, Mr. Belamovich, me, Mr. Atkins. If you have any questions, please ask before the DPM so we can help you. I already have a video on events leading to the revolution. Hopefully you know about that. In the next couple of days, I will get the Texas Revolution one going, but we're still learning about that, so I'm not going to put that video up yet. But I hope at this point you guys know most of what you need to know for the DPM. If you have any questions, please ask, okay? Have a good day, guys.